Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another gameplay to be showing you. A game where I am the ultimate support character as Pathfinder, using that Sentinel that you just saw me pick up to spur us on to an incredible game with a really great satisfying finish. I am not the main killer of this squad, it is my teammates, but my sniper support is something else in this specific game. Us holding down one specific area that I'm about to put my zipline up to, and we'll see if we can get the win. I'm going for the survey beacon, so I use my ultimate to get myself up there, but as I'm on my way, the team does not want me to do that. I feel shots in the back, but I now have the high ground. No time to survey beacon. We 110 them, and 70. And 70. Look at us go with that Sentinel, that 2-time scope, working a treat on the Sentinel. Probably my favourite scope for the gun. Maybe a bit of a contentious one, as I probably should be using a sniper scope on a sniper. But if you look at these headshots too, we're hitting bodies there. A headshot there, 126, probably not got a helmet. Really interesting, only 7 squads left, still no helmet on that opponent. Not good when your opponent has the Sentinel, although I'm still sitting on white armor, which is probably not beneficial in this situation. Still trying to fire those few shots with Pathfinder. As you can see in the top left, I've already scanned for the next ring. We've been sitting on that survey beacon all the way up to ring 3 now that we're on, and I will continue to use it. This is a 5-scan survey beacon game. I'm oblivious to the player below that I can see on my screen now. Don't know why I couldn't see them there, but we're still just popping sniper shots, getting all that sniper support in, whilst my teammates are going to be doing some of the damage too. Although at this point they're probably just leaving me to it, as I will be giving all of the damage, draining all of the resources below. Unfortunately, still rocking an alternator. I have not found an R301 or R99, but it is fine because the close quarters combat has not been that bad. Unfortunately, down to just my last shield battery. I do not want to waste it for white armor. My Gibraltar kindly being of service to get me that shield cell. But we've got teams surrounding us, behind us, left, right, covering us from all angles. I've got to be hot with this Sentinel, or we are not getting out of here. Just firing shots, scaring that Bangalore there as they sprint away. 70 to the body, purple. We're taking down all of the people with more bodies and shields than us. Scaring them with the zipline, making them think that maybe we're going to come over and surprise them. Are we? Or are we just using it to hold the ground and just see if anyone would take the bait and take our zipline? We've now got 3 ziplines running up to us here, but we are still uncontested with our sniper position. Cracking the Gibby on 60, purple again, and this is where the push comes. Pathfinder pushing up on my alternator, but keeping them at bay, finally using that last shield battery I've got. But the time is coming to drop back. I have 1 Phoenix kit in hand as well, but there is fire raining down from above. My Sentinel shots have attracted the entirety of the map to come over to this area, this unnamed little town just outside Bunker, for our end game. Here we go. Our Gibraltar ultimate is going off, but our Gibraltar is extremely weak, as is our Caustic. I decide to join them here in the gas where it is safe to see if anyone is pushing us. I can get some support. The teammates have already been doing a good job taking people down. I was just trying to stay out of the way and, you know, let the people who actually know what they're doing do what they do. We're staying on the low ground. I have lost the high ground briefly, if for a moment, but with that Sentinel and alternator in hand and being Pathfinder, there was no way you're going to keep me off of the high ground as I try and use this legend for, you know, one of the first times. I'm not exactly a Pathfinder main if you've watched any videos on the channel, but we're going back up for our high ground. And it's irresistible. Once this ring comes in, I'm just going to have to get another survey beacon scan, but we're going to punch their fellow Pathfinder to get the elimination. The alternator, one of the more underrated guns in this game. Once again, popping my final Phoenix kit as we get ready to hold this area down for the final 4 squads. Putting that alternator to good use, and once again scanning my survey beacon for ring number 4, going into ring number 5. You just got to keep scanning them, and the Gibraltar point is going down. We're okay. We're in a good situation. But at this point, it's time to leave. It's time to finally vacate the place we've called home for most of this game, to push into the final ring and into the final few squads. Still, I don't have the best weapons. We haven't had a ton of time for looting in this game, if you haven't noticed. And I am still only sitting on an alternator with no standard stock and a Sentinel heading into the final ring. I'm trying to climb, but I fail to realize that wall is way too tall, even for a Revenant player. I'm so used to playing Revenant that I don't even know what I'm doing as Pathfinder. I'm out of supplies, out of meds. That shield cell is far too far away for me to come back for Gibraltar, but we are pushing forward anyway. Picking up shotgun ammo I don't need, but we are ready for this final fight. My teammates both rocking purple. We're getting onto the charge tower now so we can get our ultimates back up for the final 2 teams. I want to try and give us a good zip line, so don't put it there, Max. That would be a terrible idea. We need zip lines that are going to support the team. Trying to actually work out where these last 2 squads are. I decide to take matters into my own hands with the zip line in just a moment and get us some extra height. But we're just scouting out at the minute, just looking for where this final team could be. We see Bangalore smoke going up in front of us towards bunker as the 2 teams both approach from bunker side. I decide finally now is time to pop out my zip line to get some extra height on this, and it just about stays in the ring, so I'm going to try and use that height as best I can. Still not seeing any enemies with the Sentinel. I decide to take my zip line to give us a different angle. Up comes the Caustic with me as well, and it's time to sit up on here, keep the height control, and watch in the trenches to see where the enemies are. We are firing off into the unnamed village. 70 on gold armor, not good considering I'm still sitting on blue at this stage of the game. You know, the loot isn't exactly fruitful at this stage for me, but we did just sit up in that tower for basically the whole game, still popping shots, just trying to do as much damage as I can. An Octane goes flying over my head, but then so does this Mirage coming out of nowhere. We hit him 124 and a punch. He's one shot. But there's an ultimate coming down. I have no idea if that's my fellow Gibby's ultimate, so we're just going to have to hope and get out of there. Currently very low on shields, no Phoenix kits, we're slow healing. We're just hoping and praying that we can make it. I need to get back inside because that Bangalore ultimate's coming in. I managed to get an armor swap. I swap everything out. I managed to get all the shields I could need, but I go down because the Gibby bubble expires right as the Bangalore ultimate goes off. Gibby just about managing to get me back up, and he has that gold bag which brings me back in. I didn't even notice at this point that he had a gold bag. I thought I was weaker than I was, so I run from the fight, but it's time to push back. Still only rocking my alternator and Sentinel. Max, you had time to heal up then and get better guns. What are you still doing holding a Sentinel at this stage of the game? But we're working with it, trying to climb again. 70 on the Bangalore there, 83 on the Bangalore. That Bangalore is falling all the way back, and our Gibraltar goes down. The situation's looking more hopeless. It's a 3v2 now, and I don't know what to do. So I try to get out and get a reposition, but the Bangalore is on me. We're using that alternator, but they have gold and I do not, and the situation is beginning to look hopeless. While I give support and distract the Bangalore, our Caustic now pushes in. The Gibraltar is back on his feet as well, and it is a 2v2 as I wait in the smoke, hoping and praying that my 2 teammates are going to finish the job. And as I emerge from the smoke, I see but a very beautiful sight coming in from both of my teammates as both Caustic and Gibraltar finishing a Bloodhound and a Bangalore to get the win.